The 4 games that East Carolina has played this year, the teams that they've played and the offensive systems that they're in bear very little resemblance to how we play. They're all spread offensive teams, with the exception of Navy, which runs an offense that's unique to college football. So the type of game plans to address the teams that they've been playing probably will be different than the type of game plan that they would put together for a team like ourselves. So we really haven't been able to get a lot of real hard fact information in terms of what to expect Saturday because of that. Offensively, Jerry, they're primarily a spread out team. A lot of 3 and 4 wide, primarily 3 and 4 wide receiver formations. A high percentage of intermediate to vertical passing, much more so than probably you see on a week-to-week basis from teams. That, these days a lot of the passing games are based upon what category we would put them into, likely to be completed passes. That has something to say for the large amount of passers that we see that complete 65, 66, 67% of their passes. They throw a lot of vertical routes. They got good speed to do it. They try to spread the defense, hit the seams in the defense. Defensively, 4-3 team, mostly an over team, more so probably than we've seen here a little bit of late. Very good punter in a season in which we've seen some very good punters. Very good punter, career 43-yard average. So that's usually pretty good, because if a guy's a good punter, he's dropped his share inside the 20 that, were 27-yard punts, but were real good for his team. And so when a guy's up there 43 plus over the course of 3+ seasons, then he's hit a lot of really good punts. So they've certainly have had a history of good teams. Long time ago when I was coaching in North Carolina, we played against East Carolina a couple times when Pat Dye was the coach. They were very good, 9 and 10 win seasons. So my familiarity with them, either competing against them or as a fan, is that they've had very good teams down there. They take their football very seriously. They got a good following. So we anticipated that type of opponent when we scheduled the game. In other words, our intent was to schedule a good competitive game and not a cupcake. And so that's what we did. There's 2 things that we've raised as significant things for the offensive line to do. And that is to play with their eyes and their mouths more. And that's part of offensive line play. Just, seeing things. Okay, your eyes take you to a lot of places. And as I've mentioned on a couple of other occasions, sometimes when guys are starting out, they get so tunneled in on, this is what I have to do, this is the guy that I have to block, that there's a lot of pre-snap movement, a lot of pre-snap signs that are out there, that once a guy's a little bit more secure in his job or just prompted to do so more, that if they can expand their line of vision a little bit, they see things, they pick it up, and once they see it, then if they'll let the other guys know what they've seen, that's the cohesiveness that we hear so often spoken about as an asset to a line that's worked together a lot. It comes from that guys see things, they quickly communicate it, and then after a while, they develop that unspoken chemistry that maybe they're on the bench saying, hey, did you see that guy coming? Yeah, I saw him coming too. And I said, well, next time he comes, and I know that Jerry saw him too. So I know what Jerry's going to do, since he and I, now we know we both see the same things. So that just comes from playing together. It was emphasized really hard last week. I do think that we got some positiveness from it in the game. We could have done better in some circumstances if we were more advanced in seeing and talking. But we were more advanced than we were the week before. That's a key thing. That's a stage that we're in right now. That I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. That 0-2 team that also had a large number of rookie players on it. lost the first 2 games, which probably cast some people into a woe is us state. And they went on to win 6 in a row and 9 out of 12. There's no predictor in that happened once before with that group that it will happen again. But the point being that during that stretch, when they put together 6 wins in a row, every Thursday we could tell the team is better than it was last Saturday. And those players were having the kind of practices, Jeff, that you could see that the team was better. It hadn't played a game yet, but the team was better. And that's what we would like to accomplish right now. Now Marcus is a guy who's been with us for 5 years, so I think it's probably a little bit more accurate and a little bit more meaningful to give an assessment of a player's progress over that time span. And when Marcus was a young player, he frustrated his coaches a little bit, who were looking for more diligence, more contact, more awareness. Now if there's a corner that we wanted to try to give him a good model, a young corner, we'd say, see that guy over there? Just follow him around and see how he goes about getting ready.
What do you mean by you don't mean physical contact?
Yeah, just not sure didn't have a lot of confidence in doing that. Didn't have a lot of genuine confidence in his ability to perform. Would quickly lose confidence in himself. We worked as much on that as on physical skills. Talking to Marcus about, you got to get to the level where you have as much confidence in yourself as I do, because you're the one who's playing out there. And things happen out there on the corner. If you don't have a deep-seated confidence in yourself, any one single play could take it out of you. You got to be able to learn how to live like a corner as well as play like a corner, I guess is a way to say it. Now, his diligence and preparation, he prepares like a pro right now. He keeps a spiral notebook on every player that he plays, makes his notes all week long from his film viewing. He's up on the tendencies of splits, alignments, down and distance things. So, those are all the things that probably the startup corners on the team right now, they don't even sense that that's something that's out there to be done. Every play in practice, he's tuned in. He covers something in a meeting, and that play's run on the practice script, and he's on it. So he is a player who really shows the maturing process that goes from being a first-year guy to being a fifth-year player. So this week we had pretty obvious. We had Jason Snelling on offense and Marcus on defense, and Vic and Josh Zeidenberg shared the award on special teams. Josh, not just for blocking the punt, but he was really very prominent on all 4 units, did an excellent job running the punt team, made a couple of pretty slick calls, get the protection, headed in the right direction, had a tackle on the kickoff coverage team, had a big block on the punt return, blocked the punt. So he's got a real aptitude for it. He's really invested himself in it. He can see that's his role, and that's one of the things that happens with teams at this time of the year that happens to good teams is players really see what their role is on the team, and if players will embrace those roles and try to really stand out in whatever role the team gives them, that usually adds to the team. And we see that with a number of players who can see what their roles are. And that's a challenging thing, because sometimes that role is maybe less than what they dreamed of at some previous point leading up to the season. But they embrace those roles and try to do the best they can with them. That they usually get a great deal of satisfaction from it, too.